Good afternoon. Welcome to the Judiciary vote session. Today is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Our first item, well, we're going to skip item number 1, which is House Bill 213. There's a sponsor problem there. So we're going to skip that one, and we're going to go to House Bill 282. Thank you. There's been a motion to move favorable on House Bill 282. Are there any questions? Are there any concerns? Yes. Delegate Valentine.
Could I just have a brief overview of this one before we move forward on this one?
Sure.
I would greatly appreciate it.
So this would be Lauren. Could you give us a brief overview on what this does?
Okay, this bill is making a lot of changes to provisions related to the reporting and investigation of abuse, neglect, self-neglect, and exploitation of vulnerable adults to align Maryland law with federal rule.
Okay. It brings us in line with federal statute and federal law.
Yes. Money from the federal government. Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right, seeing no further questions, we have a motion. Are we good? Delegate McComas, any questions?
No, I just had.
Okay. Okay, it puts us in line with federal compliance.
And basically, this makes it better for us, for the citizens of Maryland, right?
Can you just pull your microphone around?
In other words, this makes it better for the citizens of Maryland because we've interjected the federal law as well as the state law. Is that fair to say?
The states have until May 2020.
Okay, so the states have until May 2028 to comply. And the federal, for us to get it to be in compliance, I don't have my, why am I acting like I don't have a folder? 1 second, sorry about that. When you say, does it make it better for us, what do you mean? So that we can get the funding? Is that what you mean?
Well, no, just the protection for seniors. Better protection.
Oh, protection for seniors. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Vulnerable adults like me.
Well, hey, I got,
Yeah, no, because there are a lot of people trying to prey on.
The chair of the Family Law Subcommittee is going to answer your question. Delegate Simpson?
It does make it better for Maryland because it makes it better for everywhere else, that it's consistent throughout all the different states of what, there are just certain things that were in legislation that somewhat the judges, the courts didn't necessarily understand, so it really defines some of that language, and then of course makes it uniform throughout the country, and then most importantly, by being in compliance, we can continue to get federal dollars.
Okay, great. So, any further questions, concerns, thoughts, or criticisms? All right, seeing none, please call the roll.
House Bill 282, Adult Protective Services Modifications. The Vice Chair. Yes. Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Aye. Delegate Valentine votes aye. Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Yes. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Yes. Delegate Phillips votes aye. Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Yes. Delegate Stinnett votes aye. Delegate Simmons. Yes. Delegate Simmons votes aye. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Yes. Delegate McComas votes yes. Delegate Moreno. Aye. Delegate Moreno votes yes. Delegate Archon. Delegate Archon votes yes. Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes yes. Delegate Simpson. Yes. Delegate Simpson votes yes. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes yes. Delegate Moon. Yes. Delegate Moon votes yes. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes yes. Delegate Woods is excused. Delegate Williams. Yes. Delegate Williams votes yes. Tally 17-0011. The motion carries.
Okay, we're going to move on to a bill that was on your list and inadvertently was removed, and that is House Bill 281. Can you use this one? Just one moment. Okay, my apologies. We are not going to do 281 at this moment. We are going to move on to House Bill 904, Delegate Moon. All righty, I heard a motion for favorable and a second. There is an amendment in the file. Thank you. So we're moving the amendment and a second on the amendment? Okay. So with respect to the amendment, Claire or Delegate Moon, would you like to explain what the amendment does?
Sure. I believe the amendment conforms the bill to what JPR did, and the amendment clarifies that if the body armor is not replaced and it leads to grants being withheld by GOCAP, that they cannot withhold grants for body armor, which is a logical clarification.
Great. And it also says that if they have a purchase, if they're in the process of purchasing, that would not interrupt their ability to receive the grant. Are there any other questions on the amendment? All right, on the amendment, please raise your hand if you are in favor of the amendment. Great, it is unanimous. All righty, on the bill as amended. All right, on House Bill 904 as amended. Are there any questions, thoughts? All right, seeing none, please call the roll.
House Bill 904, Delegate Moon, Law Enforcement, Protective Body Armor Requirements and Reporting. The Vice Chair. The Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes yes and add. Allow me one moment. Delegate Embry. Aye. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Yes. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Yes. Delegate Phillips votes aye. Delegate Congolo. Yes. Delegate Congolo votes aye and an add. Delegate Stinnett. Yes. Delegate Stinnett votes yes. Delegate Simmons. Yes. Delegate Simmons votes yes and an add. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Yes. Delegate McComas is a yes and an add. Delegate Moreno. Yes and an add. Delegate Moreno is yes and an add. Delegate Aricon. Yes. Delegate Aricon is a yes. Delegate Taylor. Yes. Delegate Taylor is a yes. Delegate Simpson. Yes. Delegate Simpson votes aye. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes aye. Delegate Moon. Yes. Delegate Moon votes aye. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes aye and an add. Delegate Woods is excused. Delegate Williams. Yes. Delegate Williams votes aye. The tally is 17-0011. The motion carries.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to move on to House Bill 1054, Delegate Phillips. There is a sponsor problem. Do we have a motion on the bill, House Bill 1054? Second. Thank you. There's been a motion for favorable on House Bill 1054. Are there any questions? Delegate Aricon?
Thank you. Could council just remind us what this does in a little bit of detail? I think I understand it, but I want to make sure I'm not missing anything important.
Dictionary of words. So the bill increases from 2 years to 3 years the statute of limitations for the prosecution of the commission of, attempted commission of, or conspiracy to commit the following misdemeanors. A criminal offense under the Maryland Public Ethics Law, or criminal malfeasance, misfeasance, or nonfeasance in office committed by an officer of the state, an officer of a state agency, an officer of a political subdivision of the state, or an officer of a bi-county or multi-county agency in the state.
Okay, so it's is it appointed people and elected people?
Yes.
Okay,
Primary focus was on the review of police officers. And
Okay.
the fact that it, what was proffered is that often they just can't get to them within a 2-year period.
okay, but it could also include politicians
It could.
who have made poor life choices,
could.
of which we've seen a few here. Okay, awesome, thank you.
All righty. Any other questions, comments, or concerns on 1054? No amendments. All right, seeing no questions or comments, we're gonna, on the favorable motion for House Bill 1054, please call the roll.
House Bill 1054, Delegate Phillips, Criminal Law, Ethics Violations, Malfeasance, Misfeasance, and Nonfeasance, Statute of Limitations. The Vice Chair. The Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes aye. Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Delegate Phillips votes aye. Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes aye. Delegate Simmons. Delegate Simmons votes aye. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Delegate McComas votes yes. Delegate Moreno. Delegate Moreno votes aye. Delegate Arcon. Delegate Arcon votes aye. Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes aye. Delegate Simpson. Delegate Simpson votes aye. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes aye. Delegate Moon. Delegate Moon votes aye. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes aye. Delegate Woods is excused. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams votes aye. The tally is 17-001. The favorable motion carries.
Thank you. We're going to move now to House Bill 1186, which has been amended. Second. Thank you. There is a motion on the amendment. Are there any, let's talk about what the amendment does. Shall we start with council, or would you like to count? Okay, council. Okay. Claire, would you explain the amendment, please?
The amendment requires peer-to-peer car-sharing programs to be responsible for providing certain security on a primary basis for third-party liability claims under certain circumstances.
Just one moment, please. Are there any, are there any questions? This amendment was sent over to you. Delegate Arcon?
I'm just wondering if we can just sort of talk at a more of a 10,000-foot view about how what the implications are once we, with the amendment, but sort of what does this really do at the ground level? What are we looking at here?
Delegate Taylor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So what this bill does is it creates parity between the rental car agencies and the peer-to-peer agencies, like a Turo.
Okay.
So right now, if you rented a car from Enterprise and you were at fault, it would be your insurance that would be charged.
Okay.
Right now, that same parity doesn't exist for Turo. So what we're doing is making sure that the rentor, their insurance is, the first insurance
primary,
that's
okay.
being used, yeah.
Okay. And right now for an Enterprise, that's true, but for the ride sharing, it's not true?
We're just creating parity.
Okay, all right, thank you. That helps me a lot, actually.
You're welcome.
Are there any other questions? Delegate Conaway?
Thank you, Chair. So to the previous delegate that answered the question, so if you have the Enterprise, can't you use Enterprise's insurance? Like you pay for extra insurance and you use their insurance? Therefore, they would be primary?
Delegate? Oh, were you asking me?
Yes.
Okay, you weren't looking at me, so I wasn't sure.
I wasn't. I was looking right at you.
I forgot about that. So it's in existing language that if you're uninsured, you would, the insurance, the rental car company would be the insurance that would be used. What was your question?
So it's a yes. He was asking whether or not with Enterprise, you can use Enterprise's insurance or
Yes.
as a primary and then yours as a secondary. And so With Enterprise, yes.
If you opt in to their insurance, but if you're at fault and you're the driver of the vehicle, it's your insurance that folks are going to come after first.
That's if you approve them as using your insurance as the primary.
Your insurance will be used as the primary.
I don't think so. I think you have the option to opt in. You can either buy insurance or you can use your own insurance. Is that right?
Yeah, I know. I've done that,
So
actually.
what about on the toll road?
It should work the same.
The same.
It should work the same. Yeah, what we're doing is just creating parity.
Okay, thank you.
Delegate Moreno?
I was just going to supplement the response that, yeah, you can always buy extra insurance. Like if you rent a Turo car, you can go to a company like Alliance and just buy car insurance rental.
And, yep, in fact, that's in the amendment as well. The supplemental insurance policy sold to the shared vehicle driver in connection with and incidental to the peer-to-peer car sharing transaction. So that is amending the bill in that direction. So you could still get supplemental if you wanted to.
Talking about getting supplemental insurance so that you can lend the vehicle to someone else who's not the primary?
No, I think the supplemental would be the person who is now using the vehicle, I think.
The renter rents the vehicle and uses their insurance.
Yes. And if the renter wanted to get supplemental, so if there's a third-party claim, and Claire, you might have to help me on this. If there's a third-party claim as a benefit under a supplemental insurance policy sold to the shared vehicle driver in connection with and incidental to the peer-to-peer car sharing transaction, meaning that that exists as well. But the section above that, Claire, under B, I might be going too far with my analysis. I was looking at the amendment on page 2 of the amendment, when I should have been looking at the reprint. I'm punishing myself. I am. I need supplemental insurance. And you know, I will say this is interesting for us because it is a stretch, and it's very different from the law that we usually, the jurisdiction of the law that we usually handle in this committee. This would be our first, I think this will be our first bill that we would be getting out in this area of the law. I think.
It does address the question.
Yeah, on the reprint.
To ensure that insurance is in place, but your insurance is primary, and if you don't have it, then the service has to insurance according to Maryland law.
I'm
Them to have supplemental insurance, so that.
speaking to the mic.
No, well, Delegate Phillips is the one who's just checked it, but Maryland law would require that the company that's renting or lending the vehicle has some sort of supplemental policy in case the policy is of the individual somehow wasn't in force. Let's say they thought they had it, but they didn't, or for some reason it wasn't, it was not timely gotten or received. So they would have to have it. But that's not in this bill. That's just present law.
$11 of 12.
Are we confusing ourselves more? I think we're going deeper than we probably should go. Yeah.
Yeah, page 11.
It makes it the same as a rental car company. You have the option to get the supplemental, or you just use your own.
Right.
Good.
Okay. I think we are there. Okay, Delegate Valentine?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just wanted to ask the subcommittee chair on this. With all the amendments, does this conform to the version that was passed out unanimous by the Senate? Thank you. Thank you.
Those are the questions we like. All righty. All right. This is our, like I said, this is our first one out. So on House Bill 1186, those were the amendments. I don't think we've approved the amendments yet, and we have a favorable motion on the amendments. All in favor, please raise your hand. Psst, Delegate Mo. Okay, it is unanimous on the amendment. Now on the bill as amended. All right, we have a motion for favorable and a second. Are there any questions on the bill as amended for House Bill 1186? All right, seeing none, please call the roll.
1186, Delegate Rogers, peer-to-peer car sharing programs, insurance and liability. The Vice Chair. The Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes aye. Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Delegate Phillips votes aye. Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes aye. Delegate Simmons. Delegate Simmons votes aye. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Delegate McComas votes aye. Delegate Moreno. Delegate Moreno votes aye, and an add. Delegate Arcon. Delegate Arcon votes aye. Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes aye. Delegate Simpson. Delegate Simpson votes aye. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes aye. Delegate Moon. Delegate Moon votes aye. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes aye. Delegate Woods is excused. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams votes aye. The tally is 17-0011. The favorable with amendments motion carries.
Thank you. We're going to move now to House Bill 1222, a Prince George's County delegation bill.
Move favorable. Second.
Okay, it has been moved in second on House Bill 1222, favorable. Are there any questions? This would increase the salary for the Prince George's County State's Attorney from $199,000 to $250,000. I know. Who wants to be a state's attorney?
And you have to get voted by the people of Prince George's County.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I forgot that part. All right, do we have any questions, thoughts, concerns, other than the ones we've already expressed? Seeing none?
The fiscal impact will be borne on Prince George's County, not on the taxpayers of Maryland.
Very important, that's right.
Yes, that is correct. That would come out of the budget.
For Prince
from the
George's County.
Executive and the county council.
That's right. All righty.
Yes, it's been 10 years since our state's attorney has had a salary increase, and it would only go into effect after the next election.
They know the salary they're getting when they're running.
Well, they're about to find out.
You're correct.
Okay, so we're gonna, we have a motion for favorable on House Bill 1222. Please call the roll.
House Bill 1222, Prince George's County Delegation, Prince George's County State's Attorney Salary, Alteration PG 426-26. The Vice Chair. Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes aye. Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Delegate Phillips votes aye. Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes aye. Delegate Simmons. Delegate Simmons votes aye. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Delegate McComas votes aye. Delegate Moreno. Delegate Moreno votes aye. Delegate Arcon. Delegate Arcon votes a tepid aye. Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes a strong aye. Delegate Simpson. Delegate Simpson votes aye. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes aye. Delegate Moon. Delegate Moon votes a whatever they want. We'll take that as a yes. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes aye. Delegate Woods is excused. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams votes aye. The tally is 17-0011. The favorable motion carries.
your state's attorney. They want to raise, they can get a raise too.
Everybody get a raise. Okay. Tepid aye. Tepid aye. Okay. House Bill 1290, Delegate Woods, we have an amendment.
She's not here, but I'm sure she's excited about it.
We have a motion for the amendment. Thank you. We have a motion and a second on the amendment. Can we, Lauren, would you like to explain what the amendment does?
Sure.
Thank you.
So the amendment strikes a substantial portion of the bill as introduced. So now the bill specifies that a child in need of a...
You got, yeah, a little bit better.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. So now the bill specifies that a child in need of assistance has the right to be present at a proceeding and that the court may exclude the child if the child's attorney requests to waive the child's presence at the proceeding.
Are there any questions? I see some puzzled faces, but I don't see any lights or indication of questions.
To let everybody know that, according to Delegate Woods, now the judiciary is no longer opposed to the bill.
All right. Further questions, thoughts, or concerns? All of Delegate McComas.
The bottom line is that the attorney for the child is the quarterback and makes the final decision, correct?
Yeah, but I don't like it when I mean, I won't say what I like or not like, but that is a yes. But the bottom line is that the child may be present. That's the bottom line we're trying to reach, but it could be waived by the attorney.
But in other words, if the attorney feels that, you know, the child says, oh, I want to be there, and the attorney doesn't think it's in the best interest for the child, or it would cause problems, they're going to make they'll make the decision for the child and waive it.
And the court. It's a best interest standard, I would imagine, right? Okay. All righty. Delegate Valentine?
After the portion that says request to waive a child's presence at the proceeding, then there's another letter that says the child's attorney may not waive the child's right to be present at a consultation required under, and then it's 3-823. What is that section? I can't find that in this bill.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's the amended version. I'm just trying to figure out what that is.
Hold on one second.
Permanency plan hearing.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Any other questions? All right, seeing none. On the amendment, please raise your hand. We have a motion for favorable if you agree. All right, it is unanimous. On the bill as amended. So we have a motion on the bill as amended and a second. Are there any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
House Bill 1290, Delegate Woods, Child in Need of Assistance Proceedings, Child's Right to be Present. The Vice Chair. The Vice Chair votes aye, Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes aye, Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye, Delegate Cardin. Delegate Cardin votes aye, Delegate Phillips. Delegate Phillips votes aye, and an add, Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye, Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes aye, Delegate Simmons. Delegate Simmons votes aye, Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Delegate McComas votes aye, Delegate Moreno. Yes and an add. Delegate Moreno votes yes and an add, Delegate Arcon. Delegate Arcon votes yes and an add, Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes yes, Delegate Simpson. Delegate Simpson votes yes, Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes yes, Delegate Moon. Delegate Moon votes yes, Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes yes, Delegate Woods is excused, presenting a bill in GLE. Delegate Conaway votes add as well. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams is a yes and an add. The tally is 17-0011. The favorable with amendments motion carries.
All righty. Yep. Okay, let's move on now to House Bill 1345. Delegate Cardin, I heard a move favorable, and then I heard a second. Okay. I will say that I will confess, I did not know what an interim clause was when I was in law school. I never remember going over this, but that doesn't mean anything because I don't remember everything from law school anyway. Delegate Arcon.
Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't remember anything from law school because I never went. So if the sponsor or counsel could just tell me today if I had this issue, what would happen, and tomorrow after this passes, what will happen differently?
Madam Chair. So today, if you are the beneficiary of a trust and you go and try and contest a decision made by the fiduciary.
Okay.
Today, you could actually be what's the word I'm looking for now? You could be removed or as a beneficiary or lose your opportunity to actually gain benefit that you're supposed to gain because you contested the decision made.
Oh, my.
And this.
If that clause is in them.
Right, if the clause is there, if we're only talking about if this clause is in there that says that you're not permitted to object to any decisions made. And this basically makes that against public policy and unenforceable.
Okay.
So if we pass this and you contest a decision in the trust administration, which could cost money, by the way. The reason they don't want it to, because they don't want it to cost them money, but then you can't lose your position as a beneficiary and gain whatever you were supposed to gain.
Okay, so let me, give you a real quick hypothetical. Yep. Let's say I had a trust set up and I had 4 children, which I do, who were beneficiaries, and one was acting a bit unruly and was dragging the other siblings repeatedly into court over every decision that was made. And my clause that I put in there said, if that happens, that kid's kicked out of the trust. We're now saying that that's no longer enforceable?
Right. That is correct, if there is probable cause. So if, for example, if in fact there is, if in fact they do actually have probable cause to contest it, then there wouldn't be any issue at all.
Okay. So if they were doing something that was far outside what would be reasonable, a judge could decide to actually enforce the clause in the contract and say, you're just burning through the trust money, causing problems because you're unruly.
That is correct. And in fact, the chair actually has my cheat sheet, but I think that I would say most states have it this way, where you have to have a probable cause, a probable cause clause in the in your definition.
To make it enforceable. In most states, you have to have a problem. Okay.
You do.
Okay,
So there's only 2 states that say they are always 100%, they're not enforceable. What we're doing is saying as long as there's probable cause, you can make it unenforceable.
Okay, and this is prospective, not for previously written contracts for trusts? Or?
This is, I believe it's only prospective, is that correct?
Okay, for those listening, if you have an unruly child, get a separate trust for that one.
Is it true that is it prospective only?
Prospective only, and it's doing, right now, there's a provision that allows this for wills. This is lining up, so wills and trusts are going to have the same clause. And it's prospective. Yeah, prospective.
So it wouldn't apply to a trust that exists today with one of these clauses?
No.
And in fact, it even says that.
Okay.
That sentence yeah.
I don't have the text up, so I'm just.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
That's why that's why we ask the questions.
Yes, and so now we know about interim. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so any other questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
House Bill 1345, Delegates Cardin and Taylor, Maryland Trust Act interim clause void. The Vice Chair. Yes. The Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes aye. Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Yes. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Yes. Delegate Phillips votes aye, and you cannot add because it's only, we did not amend the bill. Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes aye. Delegate Simmons. Delegate Simmons votes aye. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Delegate McComas votes aye. Delegate Moreno. Delegate Moreno votes aye. Delegate Arcon. Delegate Arcon votes aye. Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes aye. Delegate Simpson. Delegate Simpson votes aye. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes aye. Delegate Moon. Delegate Moon votes aye. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes aye. Delegate Woods. Delegate Woods votes aye. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams votes aye. The tally is 18-0-0-0-1. The motion carries.
Great. On House Bill 1387, Delegate Coley, there is an amendment. Is there a motion on the amendment? Thank you. So let's go over what the amendment does. Claire, please.
The amendment establishes 5% as the minimum compensation rate that the Maryland Automobile Insurance Fund is required to pay to a fund producer for private passenger automobile insurance, and prohibits the fund from paying a commission on a policy written directly by the fund without the involvement of a fund producer.
Do we have any questions on the amendment? All right.
Yep, sorry, this is so new
Okay.
for us.
Yes, this is
Yep.
new. It's okay to ask questions. Delegate
Thanks.
Arcon.
Okay, yeah, just in practice, what does this actually do, and who does this actually affect? I mean, the Maryland Automobile Insurance Fund, what exactly is that, and who are the people whose commission rates were repealing?
I can answer that.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. No, it's fine. This is insurance is tiring.
Right. Delegate Taylor, did you want to answer that?
I could.
Okay, thank you.
So MAFE is only for, and first of all, MAFE is, there's no other state in the country that has a MAFE. And in order for you to be a client of MAFE, you had to be turned down from commercial, or you, yeah, so anyway, so, but even if you're turned down twice, or you don't qualify, then you still have to go through a broker.
Right.
To get to MAFE, to be a client of MAFE. Now, right now, MAFE has a 10% floor on their commission. So they don't have any leeway really in the amount that they pay. So in order to, have more say in what the commission rates are, they're asking for, what originally was to get rid of the floor.
Okay, and there was no real opposition, I don't think, to this policy change?
I think there was.
Oh, there was? Okay.
The Independent Insurance Agents of Maryland.
So how would they be affected, since aren't those the
The commercial insurers.
Right, how would they be impacted by the bill? Because this is supposed to be the folks who.
The agents who are getting the commission.
Oh, they're the actual agents. So this would allow for what they're allowed to charge to go down by 5% potentially?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Delegate Conaway?
Thank you, Chair. I believe that the MAFE testified that whenever someone takes out a policy, it's always through a broker anyway, so commission is paid irregardless.
Oh, you said it's always through a broker?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember that. I didn't put that in my notes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in order to get to it, you have to go through.
Okay, so it's been confirmed, yes. In order to get MAVE, you have to go through a broker.
That's right now as it exists without the amendment, right?
Right.
Yes.
And, right, but there was a second part to your question. I
No,
thought.
that's on.
Yeah.
No, see, because the amendment seems very tricky because you're putting in the amendment that they're going to do something that they do
already.
Now, anyway, so
Okay.
it looks like you're getting some advantage, but you're really not.
Right, we're just lowering the floor
Right.
from 10% to 5%,
Sure.
not to exceed 15%.
Sure.
Okay, Delegate Mangione.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I think I understand what's going on then as well, but I guess my question would be, who's doing all the work that's going to be potentially not being reimbursed at a certain level? I mean, if MAFE's doing it, then we should, of course, cut it off, but if you have these independent agents that are doing all the legwork to get somebody insured, and then you're turning around saying, well, we're going to have the benefit of this person helping these people, or MAFE is helping these people get on insurance, but the person that's facilitating it all by default is actually going to be told, well, thanks for all your legwork here, but we're cutting you off. That's how I understand it. Does that sound accurate?
Other independent companies, they don't have floors. MAFE is the only organization that had a floor in their commission. So it's just making it equal parity. I guess that's the theme of the day. We're just making MAFE on par with how.
Okay, so they had to pay them a certain
commissions are
amount before,
paid.
I see. So,
Yeah.
because, I mean, is that's just how I see it, how it would happen. I just want to make sure the process I'm understanding. But I get that's fair, and I think I agree with that, to make sure that they're not having to pay a certain amount. But I just didn't want to see people that are in these independent insurer brokers that are being told, well, we're really not going to reimburse you all that much as a state, even though we're paying all the, they're doing all the work.
Right,
I'm
and
not
we
sure
did,
that all the work is
Or
a great
most.
way to to describe that, but they certainly may have a cut in their commission, for sure.
Okay.
and Delegate Mangione, I will state that also, when the bill came in, there wasn't a floor. The bill was reducing not less than 10% and removing the floor. So with the amendment, at least we have a floor of 5%. Yeah. Just so you know. Okay, Delegate Conaway?
Thank you, Chair. Did MAFE say why they needed this additional money not to be paid out?
Do we have any information in that regard, Delegate Taylor, that you're aware of? Okay, you all, we're having a little trouble hearing.
Yeah, this is complicated stuff. So remember, MAFE is that company that cannot go under, right? They have to maintain a certain revenue, a certain, I forgot what it's called, there's a word for it, but they have to remain active. They can't go under. In order to ensure that they don't, if they get to a certain point, then they have to engage in assessment to all the independent insurance companies that participate in the market in Maryland. That assessment, I guess, this is the third year, I believe, that assessment would have been assessed for those companies. So the companies don't want to be assessed, nor do we want the companies assessed, because when they're assessed, we actually see a piece of that on our bill, an assessment charge on our bill. So in order, if MAFE wants to keep more of their revenue, then they have now the ability to use their financial judgment and lower the commission, where previously they had to pay a commission at least 10%. Now we've lowered it to 5%. It leaves them to keep more money in their coffers to keep them afloat, and which may even avoid having an assessment.
I'm sorry, could someone please turn down your phone? It is really like almost, yeah, please. Okay.
Does that make sense, Delegate?
Yes. No, I was watching the show that was going on down there. Thank you.
What do you think? Are we good?
Yeah, I think to run the vote, yes. Good.
Run the vote. Okay, any other questions? All right, please call the roll.
House Bill 1387, Delegate Coley, Maryland Automobile Insurance Fund, producer, minimum commission rate repeal. The Vice Chair. Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes aye. Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Delegate Golo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes. Oh, I apologize. I skipped over. That's my fault. Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes aye. Now Delegate Simmons. Thank you, Delegate Simmons. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Delegate McComas votes aye. Delegate Moreno. Delegate Moreno votes aye. Delegate Aricon. Delegate Aricon votes aye. Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes aye. Delegate Simpson. Delegate Simpson votes aye. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes aye. Delegate Moon. Delegate Moon votes aye. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes no. Delegate Woods. Delegate Woods votes aye. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams votes aye. The tally 17-1-0-0-1. The motion carries.
Okay, let's move on to House Bill 1389. There's a motion and a second for favorable. This is Delegate Jones, Public Health Prohibition on Female Genital Mutilation. There are no amendments. Are there any questions? Well, we got a favorable, we got a second. Are there any questions? Delegate Conaway.
It's in relationship to a religious event or initiation or something.
Well, they could provide that as a defense. The judge could listen to it and see if it's convincing, and probably mitigate maybe some of the penalty if they so choose.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions? Please call the roll. Oh, sorry.
I was just really curious, because I see it says, did it pass with an amendment on the Senate side?
Yes. And that was just to add sponsor.
Oh, okay, good. I was just afraid they were going to be incongruous. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, seeing no further questions, please call the roll.
House Bill 1389, Delegate Jones, Public Health, Female Genital Mutilation. The Vice Chair. Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes aye. Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Delegate Phillips votes aye. Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes aye. Delegate Simmons. Delegate Simmons votes aye. Thank you. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Delegate McComas votes aye. Delegate Moreno. Delegate Moreno votes aye. Delegate Aricon. Delegate Aricon votes aye. Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes aye. Delegate Simpson. Delegate Simpson votes aye. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes aye. Delegate Moon. Delegate Moon votes aye. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes aye. Delegate Woods. Delegate Woods votes aye. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams votes aye. The tally is 18-0-0-0-1. The motion carries.
And the chair votes aye. Okay, on House Bill 1441, Delegate Embry. I hear a motion for favorable. Is there a second? I do not see any amendments. And are there any questions? I mean, the title is very self-explanatory. All right, seeing no questions. All right, please call the roll.
Bill 1441, Delegate Embry, Criminal Law, Public Consumption, and Open Container Prepayment of Citation. The Vice Chair. Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes aye. Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Delegate Phillips votes aye. Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes aye. Delegate Simmons. Delegate Simmons votes aye. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Delegate McComas votes aye. Delegate Moreno. Delegate Moreno. Madam Chair, will you allow explanation on this? I said no explanation. Oh, no explanation. Oh, I apologize. Delegate Aricon. Delegate Aricon votes aye. Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes aye. Delegate Simpson. Delegate Simpson votes aye. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes aye. Delegate Moon. Delegate Moon votes aye. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes aye. Delegate Woods. Delegate Woods votes aye. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams votes aye. The tally is 18-0-0-0-1. The motion carries.
Great. On our last bill, House Bill 1467, Delegate Aricon. Motion for favorable in the second. Are there any questions, concerns? All right, seeing none. Please call the roll.
House Bill 1467, Delegate Aricon, Criminal Law, Fourth Degree Sexual Offense, Out-of-State Convictions. The Vice Chair. Vice Chair votes aye. Delegate Valentine. Delegate Valentine votes aye. Delegate Embry. Delegate Embry votes aye. Delegate Cardin. Delegate Cardin votes aye. Delegate Phillips. Delegate Phillips votes aye. Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo votes aye. Delegate Stinnett. Delegate Stinnett votes aye. Delegate Simmons. Delegate Simmons votes aye. Delegate Boucher is absent. Delegate McComas. Delegate McComas votes aye. Delegate Moreno. Delegate Moreno votes aye. Delegate Arcon. Delegate Arcon votes aye. Delegate Taylor. Delegate Taylor votes aye. Delegate Simpson. Delegate Simpson votes aye. Delegate Mangione. Delegate Mangione votes aye. Delegate Moon. Delegate Moon votes aye. Delegate Conaway. Delegate Conaway votes aye. Delegate Woods. Delegate Woods votes aye. Delegate Williams. Delegate Williams votes aye. The tally is 18-0001. The motion carries.
Thank you very much. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns, criticisms? Seeing none, we are adjourned.